Good afternoon, and welcome to World in 5, your trusted source for comprehensive coverage of today's most pressing events.
New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon expressed regret on Wednesday following a public inquiry that revealed around 200,000 children, young people, and vulnerable adults were abused in state and religious care over the past 70 years. We have Shelby reporting on this.
The report found that nearly 1 in 3 children and vulnerable adults in care between 1950 and 2019 experienced some form of abuse. This finding could potentially result in the government facing billions of dollars in new compensation claims. This is a dark and sorrowful day in New Zealand's history. As a society and as a state, we should have done better, and I am determined that we will do so, Luxon stated at a news conference. He also announced that an official apology would be issued on November 12. The report by the Royal Commission of Inquiry interviewed over 2,300 survivors of abuse in New Zealand, a country with a population of 5.3 million. The inquiry revealed a range of abuses in state and faith-based care, including rape, sterilization, and electric shocks, with the peak occurring in the 1970s. The report highlighted that individuals from the Indigenous Maori community and those with mental or physical disabilities were particularly vulnerable to abuse. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
Protesters in Kenya have vowed a total shutdown as they seize control of Nairobi's main international airport on Tuesday, as deadly anti-government demonstrations intensify and enter their 6th week. We have Anthony reporting on this.
According to the Kenyan National Commission on Human Rights, at least 50 people have been killed and more than 400 injured during the protests. Social media posters widely encourage protesters to block all roads leading to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and enforce a total shutdown. In response, authorities increased security at the airport and issued a warning against trespassing on protected areas, stating that it is an offense punishable by law. We urge all individuals participating in demonstrations to respect these legal provisions and refrain from attempting to enter or interfere with protected areas, said Acting Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja. The youth-led protests began last month in response to national outrage over a controversial finance bill that would have significantly raised taxes on basic commodities. After President William Ruto was forced to withdraw the bill, demonstrators shifted their focus to protesting against his legitimacy, government corruption, and police brutality. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
An interim deal aimed at facilitating deliveries to Philippine Marines stranded on a ship at a highly contested reef in the South China Sea is now in doubt, as Manila and Beijing have given conflicting accounts of their agreement. We have Jensen reporting on this.
Tensions have heightened in recent months due to a series of increasingly violent clashes between Chinese Coast Guard vessels and Philippine ships at Second Thomas Shoal in the disputed Spratly Islands. The Philippines grounded a Navy ship there in 1999 to assert its claims. After de-escalation talks, both Manila and Beijing announced they had reached a provisional arrangement for resupplying the Philippine Marines aboard the barque Sierra Madre. However, neither side conceded their maritime claims. Analysts are skeptical about the durability of the temporary deal, given the conflicting details provided by both sides. Neither Manila nor Beijing has released the text of the agreement, reached on Sunday, which aimed to ease tensions at the reef known as Ayungin Shoal in the Philippines and Ren Aijiao in China, located about 200 kilometers, 125 miles, from the Philippine island of Palawan. On Monday, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson stated that Beijing had agreed to allow Manila to resupply its personnel on the Sierra Madre with living necessities in a humanitarian spirit. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
It would be easy to dismiss this Sunday's presidential election in Venezuela as a foregone conclusion. The country's opposition movement is challenging Nicolas Maduro, a strongman who has ruled Venezuela since 2013 and has made it clear he intends to stay in power, stating last week that if he were not re-elected, Venezuela might face a bloodbath. We have Alana reporting on this.
Maduro's government controls all public institutions in Venezuela and has been accused of rigging votes in the past, most notably in 2017. During that election, electoral authorities initially showed the opposition had won a gubernatorial race, only to reverse the decision in favor of the government candidate, an incident widely seen as blatant electoral fraud. Leading up to this election, a new report by the local NGO Laboratorio de Paz indicates there have been more than 70 arbitrary detentions since the election campaign officially began on July 4. Despite this, uncertainty prevails in Caracas. The opposition campaign has reinvigorated its base, and the candidacy of Edmundo González has garnered significant support both within Venezuela and internationally. There is a broad consensus that Maduro's government is facing its toughest electoral challenge in the past 25 years. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
Thanks for tuning in to World in 5 for your daily dose of news and updates. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on breaking stories and insightful analysis.